You know that feeling when you get a great idea for a new product and your brain immediately jumps to, oh, I'm going to build an AI for this, or this has to be an app. It's a super common way to start, right? But what if I told you that's actually the exact wrong way to begin? Today, we're going to break down a framework that helps you choose the right tool for the job every single time. And honestly, this simple shift in thinking can make all the difference between a project that flies and one that flops.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll tackle that common mistake of leading with the tech. Then, I'll introduce you to a really powerful framework of 5 core digital solutions. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of matching them to your problem, combining them for some serious impact, and even understanding what kind of data they need. And to wrap it all up, we'll talk about adopting a professional's mindset.
All right, let's dive into section 1, starting with the wrong question. This is a big one because it's a fundamental mistake that trips up so many people before they even write a single line of code.
This sentence right here. I want to build an AI agent. It sounds exciting. It feels like you're on the cutting edge of technology. We hear this all the time, especially with whatever the hot new tech trend is. But here's the thing. This very thought hides a massive trap.
Yep, it's as simple as that. Starting with the technology, the how, before you've absolutely nailed down the what and the why, well, it's kind of like choosing a hammer before you even know if you're building a bookshelf or demolishing a wall. You've picked your tool without understanding the job at all.
And this is the crucial shift in perspective. Instead of getting lured in by the shiny new technology, the professional approach always starts with a human problem. You have to ask, what's the actual pain point here? And only then do you get to ask, okay, now what's the best way to solve it? This simple reordering changes your entire process for the better.
Okay, so if jumping straight to the tech is wrong, what's the right way? Well, that brings us right into section 2 and a really elegant framework of 5 core digital solutions. This is the system that helps us find the right solution once we actually understand the problem.
It turns out pretty much any digital product you can think of, from a simple app to a complex enterprise system, is basically performing one of just 5 fundamental jobs. That's it, just 5. And understanding these roles is absolutely key.
And here they are. What I love about this is just how much it simplifies everything. You can see we've got our 5 core solutions. A dashboard, it just shows what's happening. An AI agent makes decisions. An app is where your users interact with something. A tutorial is for when people need to learn. And an animation is all about making an idea easy to understand. For a minute, just forget all the complex tech jargon and just think in terms of these 5 basic jobs.
Okay, so we've got our 5 solution types. The next logical step, of course, is figuring out which one to use and when. And this is all about asking the right questions.
First up, the dashboard. Look, if the heart of the problem is that people need to monitor something or get a quick insight from data, you probably need a dashboard. Think about things like business performance trackers or website analytics. The key question it answers is super simple. What is happening right now?
Next, the AI agent. This is what you reach for when you need to automate a task or make an intelligent decision. If the problem calls for a recommendation, an automatic response, or some kind of thinking, you're definitely in the realm of an agent. It's all about answering the question, okay, so what should be done?
Then we have the good old app. This is your solution when people need a dedicated tool to interact with over and over again. It's not just for showing information, it's for doing stuff, like tracking your budget, managing a project, or logging your workouts. The app answers the question, where do users go to interact with this system?
But what if the problem isn't about a lack of tools, but a simple lack of knowledge? Well, that's where the tutorial shines. If your users are struggling just because they don't know how to do something, the best solution isn't some complex piece of software. It's just good, clear teaching. It answers, how do people learn this?
And finally, we have animation or visuals. You know, sometimes the problem is just that an idea is way too complex, or it's boring, or you just need to grab someone's attention. This is where visuals are king. A great animation can make a really difficult concept feel simple and engaging. It answers the question, how do we make this easy to understand and interesting?
All right, now this is where we start to level up our thinking. Because in the real world, big, messy problems are almost never solved by just one of these tools alone. The truly powerful solutions, well, they're more like ecosystems.
This is a perfect example.
Let's imagine a customer support problem. You see on the left, first, an AI agent fields all the simple, repetitive questions automatically. Anything it can't handle then flows to an app, that's the ticketing system in the middle, where human agents can manage the more complex cases. And then finally, on the right, a dashboard gives managers a high-level view of things like response times and agent workload. See? Each tool is solving a different piece of the same big problem.
So you see, it's not about choosing one tool over the others. The real magic is in composing a solution from these fundamental building blocks. This combination is always going to be way more powerful than any single tool could ever be on its own.
Okay, this is so important. We've identified the problem, we've chosen our solution types, but there's one more critical piece to this whole puzzle: the data. Each of these solutions has a very different diet, a different appetite for data, and if you get this wrong, your whole project can just grind to a halt.
This comparison is fantastic because it makes it so clear. A dashboard is a neat freak. It loves clean, structured data. Think of perfect rows and columns in a spreadsheet. It needs everything to be stable and consistent. An AI agent, on the other hand, it can often thrive in chaos. It can work with unstructured knowledge, like a big pile of PDF manuals, web pages, or messy text files. They require completely different kinds of data prep. This table lays it all out for us. You can see dashboards need those structured tables. AI agents need knowledge docs. Apps run on user-generated data, and so on. The big takeaway here is that your choice of solution directly impacts your entire data strategy right from day one.
So let's bring this all together. We've covered the common mistake, the 5-part framework, and the data. Now let's talk about the mindset that really separates the amateurs from the pros.
This right here, this is the workflow. This is the process. Number one, you start with the problem. From there, you figure out what the user actually needs. Based on that need, you choose the right solution type or combination of types from our framework. And only then, at the very end of the process, do you finally select the specific technology. Technology is the last decision you make, not the first.
And that's really the heart of this whole thing, isn't it? The genius isn't in being the world's best coder in one specific language or a wizard with one particular tool. The real skill is being able to look at a complex, messy human problem and orchestrate the right combination of tools to solve it, elegantly and effectively. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on for your own projects. Next time you have an idea, don't start by asking what technology you want to use. Start by asking what problem you're trying to solve, and then ask yourself, what combination of these 5 tools is going to get the job done best? If you start there, the right technology will just naturally follow. Trust me, you might be surprised by the answer you find.